Yeah, I get a lot of questions. Now, there's a lot of guys out there who have fished for many years and you've got some things figured out. So a lot of the stuff that I'm covering is pretty basic, or elementary beginner kind of stuff. So if you already know what I'm talking about, that's cool. Help somebody else out. I get a lot of questions from guys asking me about, what kind of hooks I'm using, what kind of weightless plastics I'm using and all that. So basically when I fish our six sticks wacky rig, and this is a 6-stick right here. I fish at wacky rig. I either use a 4-aught octopus hook or a 4-aught Gamakatsu wacky hook. You can use whatever brand works for you, but those are the two hooks that I use. The octopus hooks seem to give me better hookup ratios. They're not the circle octopus hooks, they're just regular octopus hooks, the 4-aught size. This is a Gamakatsu. I love Gamakatsu hooks. I've been using them for 20, 30 years. When I go with a Texas rig with a 6-stick, or our lizards, our gator lizards, or our 7-inch ticklers, I fish them all weightless, and I use an Eagle Claw 4-aught finesse hook. This is a straight hook like the Trocar hooks. The Eagle Claw, that's an Eagle Claw Trocar straight hook right there that I use for my craws and flipping and everything. And that's the finesse straight hook from Eagle Claw. That 4-aught straight hook from finesse Eagle Claw hook is what you want to use for weightless plastics when you're Texas rigging. Again, for the 6-stick, the lizards, our 7-inch ticklers, I use them on our big JP hammer shads as dynamite. I like the straight hooks better than the small EWG hooks, those extra wide gaps, because once you start getting small on your extra wide gaps, I don't care what brand name you are, if you get them in rough or heavy cover, that hook is going to straighten out. I started using these finesse straight hooks 2 years ago, and that problem has been eliminated. I don't get my hook straightened out anymore. I'll also show you here in a second how I cast, how I skip my plastics. And, if you have any questions, let me know. Here's one thing about questions. I love it when guys ask questions because everything that I know is because I asked questions for years and years and years, and people actually took the time to help me out, so I appreciate that. I may be able to get on bass, but I'm a realist. I've got about 2 drops worth of water of knowledge in fishing in a 5-gallon bucket. That's it. I'm learning every single year. I'm learning, and I've only got 2 drops of water in a 5-gallon bucket when it comes to fishing knowledge. So for all you guys out there who think you've got it figured out and you can't tell them anything, and you guys know who I'm talking about. You can't tell them anything because they've already got it figured out, and after all, they're the next Kevin Van Dam. For all those knuckleheads out there, you come fish with the old man. I got something for you. You're the kind of guy that I like fishing with, so I can serve you up some humble pie pretty quick. There's no such thing as having everything already figured out. There's no such thing as stupid questions either. I get guys asking me on the side questions, and you know what one of the main responses is after I get done answering their question? Thank you for helping me. I appreciate it because you're the only guy that took the time to answer my questions. And when I hear that one time, my eyebrows raise. When I hear it 2 times, I'm like, what's going on? And I've heard it so many times, it makes me sick. Because that tells me that there's people out there, fishermen out there, who don't give a crap about anybody but themselves, and they won't help people when they ask questions. That makes you an arrogant prick. I've got no time for arrogant pricks. So anybody out there who's got questions, you go ahead and ask me and I'll answer them. If I don't know the answer, I'm not going to BS you. I'll just send you to somebody else who does know the answer. I just want everybody to catch fish. That's why I'm out here fishing. That's why I'm out here showing people what I'm doing and explaining things, because I just want you to catch fish. If you're one of those guys who's got it all figured out, get on down the road from me, because I got no time for you. Fishing is fun. That's what it's supposed to be. And as human beings, we're supposed to help each other out. So how about you start doing that, okay? Yeah, I mentioned skipping a lot. Skipping opens up the door that you can get up under trees, you can get up under docks, or whatever. If you learn how to skip, especially with weightless plastics, I'm telling you, you're going to have access to far more bass than you could possibly imagine if you can get it down. So some guys have asked me how I'm skipping because, you know, when you're first starting out, you can have a little trouble. So basically, it's two hands. This is as easy as it is. It's just two hands like you're skipping a rock. I just look at what I'm casting at. I take two hands right here, and I whip it. You see that? Two hands. Cast it like that every time. Cast it like you're skipping a rock, and keep doing it every time you go out. And sooner than you think, you're going to be screaming that thing 15, 20 feet back up underneath docks, boat lifts, you know, trees, whatever. And the amount of bass that you're going to reach back there is you're going to kick yourself for not learning how to skip earlier in your fishing career. So just do a two-handed grasp. You know, just two hands, and I just put the whip on it. It's hard to skip it here right now because it's waves. That's why I'm not going for the massive skips, but that's the basic elementary of how I skip my plastics across the water. You learn how to do that, and boy, oh boy, you're going to start catching some fish, folks. So give it a shot and master it.